I am on the record as a Merit hater, but I have recently come into a few of their flesh bombs. Is that what they're called? Flesh bomb? That maybe not be right. Is that what they're called? Flesh bombs? That seems kind of wild. Oh, they're called flesh bombs. Hey y'all, welcome to Cloverroom. It has been a long ass day. It has been a long day that has been ass. It has been an ass day that has been long. Dodger won't settle down. I'm up way too late because I need to be up early tomorrow to open at my job. He's currently trying to tear apart an alligator right beside me. A stuffed one, but still an alligator. We're all out of sorts here at the Cloverroom. Cloverroom HQ. Sometimes when I like to wind down, I like to play with makeup or just interact with my makeup rather. Like a lot of times I'll just sit down and organize it or honestly just like look through it because makeup makes me happy because I'm odd, I guess. But if you're watching this, there's a good chance you may be odd too. Maybe because of your relationship with makeup or maybe you're just odd in general. But yeah, sometimes late at night I just like to put on some makeup and then, immediately take it off and go to bed. But I don't know, makeup therapy, makeup as therapy, all of that. So we're going to do that. And also I did, in my last video, which was my empties, I got a couple of comments. Well, I got quite a few comments that really liked my makeup look in that. And there was at least one that asked for a tutorial. So I thought we could fold that into this video too. The eye look was, I'm 99% sure all this palette from Bella Beauté Bar. This is unoriginal nudes. I did purchase this. I'll be trying to recreate that look. I'll try my best to get as close as I can or replicate it. I think I'm more doubting if I can replicate it because I never do the same thing twice, even though it sure looks like I do because I feel like all my looks are about the same as last one. But y'all seem to like it. So, and I wanted to show this palette on camera. We're just going to tell. It's going to probably be pretty low energy. It's, like I said, been in so many different orders and emphases. Sure. Along this day. So yeah, pretty low vibes. Dodge is hopefully winding down by destroying that stuffed alligator, really putting his mind to it. And if you're new here, welcome. My name's Cam. I'm a trans film creator. I like to talk about beauty, usually from a more conscious consumerism perspective. I'll hopefully have a more that being the conscious consumerism. Hopefully I have a more focused video on that soon. The brain just hasn't been working because it has to do other stuff. My brain's doing other stuff right now. I'm also not drunk or even buzzed. I'm drinking a diet ginger ale. I do something crazy these days. Come closer. This is the real hack of the video. I'll probably tell you about makeup, but this is the real hack. So you're gonna go to Lidl. If you don't know what a Lidl is, it's similar to like an Aldi. They have diet ginger ale there that is the perfect dupe for diet ginger ale from Canada Dry, which is the best diet ginger ale. It uses, here's, this is already getting too in depth about something that the video's not actually about. Diet ginger ale the Canada Dry makes uses these specific artificial sweeteners. I don't want to hear anything about them. Let me drink them. If you don't want to drink them, don't. But sometimes they're the only thing getting me through the day. A lot of the dupe diet ginger ales, like the Kroger brand, for instance, doesn't use the same artificial sweeteners and it doesn't taste the same. But the problem is the Canada Dry diet ginger ale for like a 12 pack is like $10, which is so expensive. However, Lidl, which is this discount grocery store that I frequent, and it's annoying because they only, in my store, they don't have the cans of the diet ginger ale, but they do have the 2 liters. So I usually buy 2 liters a week. I could probably go for 3 with the frequency that I drink diet ginger ale, but I'm trying not to get there, but we're close. we sure are getting close. Their diet ginger ale, which I would love it if Lidl, if you're watching, Lidl, if you're watching this, I don't care if any beauty brands are watching this, I don't need any PR, but Lidl, if you could put your diet ginger ale into cans, that would really do so much in my life. Because their diet ginger ale actually mirrors the artificial sweeteners that are in the Canada Dry. And that's all to say I'm drinking a Lidl diet ginger ale. And then I've been going extra zany lately. And I pour just a hit of the Lidl brand blackberry, like Arctic Ice, on top. Cheers. And it's so good. It's so good. A blackberry ginger ale? Forgot about it. And if you're new here... Oh, what was I even saying? Wait, did I already do my intro? Sort of. Yeah, I think I did. If you're still here, thank you. And if you're a diet ginger ale connoisseur too, I see you, I value you, you're valid. Okay, so I'm going to start with eyeshadow as I always do. Put a little eye primer on. How are y'all doing? Because... without giving too much away, because I'm not ready to talk about this specific situation. Actually, navigating admin systems is exhausting. The fact that everything is hundreds of dollars is exhausting. Everything's exhausting. Are y'all, like, I just, to do anything is exhausting. Clove room. That's the main idea. The main idea of this video is Lidl needs to put their diet ginger ale into cans, and to do anything is exhausting. And I hope you take that with you. Should I actually do the tutorial part of this video? I am still getting to know this palette. I will be honest, my first impression, I was like, oh no, I'm worried I hate this. But then I adapted how I was using it. These shadows are so much more intense and pigmented than what I'm used to. I usually use like Viseart shades, or honestly these days I've even been using just like face products as eyeshadow. I don't do a lot with my eyeshadow. And even though I feel like to a lot of y'all who are more into eyeshadow these days, this probably looks like a very safe, neutral palette. The pigment of the matte shades in this and the intensity of the glitter shades in this are a lot stronger than what I use. Much more high voltage. With Viseart shades, I can like close my eyes, blah, 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 and it's done. These, I just need to be a lot more careful just to dip into the mattes once, tap off a lot of the excess, and then go in, and then they work beautifully. Bella Beauté bar mattes blend out really well, are really nice and blurring, and these are no exception. They're just so much more pigmented than what I'm used to dealing with day to day. I have one other Bella Beauté bar palette that was passed on to me by my friend Tom. Tom. It's the basic witch palette. I really like that palette, but it's very colorful, and I'm not as colorful these days, but I was so impressed with that palette, and when I visited Tom last year, I used a few Bella Beauté bar palettes at their house, and I was just so impressed with the shadow quality, and I really like a lot of what the brand does, the look of it at least. I've only tried up to this point that one palette, and I always said if they release like a perfect color story, I would like to buy that palette. I'm also trying to buy from more small businesses these days. I try to talk about this more in future videos when I get back to doing a little bit more commentary stuff, but I just am so tied to like, if I need something in makeup, I look at Ulta or Sephora, and I'm really trying to break that and have my first inclination be like, what's a small brand I can buy from? Not that all small brands, I mean, the indie eyeshadow space, y'all. It's funny because I feel like people online will tell you if there should be a reality show about beauty, it should be like the Dramageddon actors, you know, the stars and the Tatis and the Charles and the MUAs and all that. If Bravo ever came to me, as they should, honestly, as a connoisseur of the beauty space and of Bravo, I'm really at the intersection. They ever came to me and said, we're trying to do a makeup reality show, point us in a direction. I would say, indie eyeshadow, go. They would have seasons and seasons worth of drama and high treachery to follow, because a lot of wonderful, talented creators, a lot of talented, wonderful brands like Bella Beauté Bar in the indie space, also a lot of not that. So, shop at your own discretion. Anyway, what was I saying? So I saw this color story and I was like, okay, that's like the perfect color story. Palette has a lot of neutrals, has also some colorful or just like more intense indie sparkles that I've wanted for a while. I've wanted to experiment with indie shadows for a while, but I've also been pulling back from eyeshadow, and this palette just seemed like a good opportunity to do all of that. That look I did in my empties video is definitely my favorite look I've created with this, so I'm excited to recreate it. So I'm gonna just start by going in with Unoriginal Nude 2 and Unoriginal Nude 3 and mixing those and just like putting them all over my eye. And again, I'm like only tapping into pans once and then flicking off a lot of the excess, and that's like usually plenty to get started for me. I've also found for this palette, it's helpful for my brush shapes to be a little bit smaller than I normally go because these really spread. Like, I don't know, Viseart shades, and I keep saying Viseart because Visearts are definitely my favorite mattes and my most used mattes for the most part. The other ones would be Makeup by Mario mattes in the cooler neutrals palette. Those are like my go-to mattes, so that's why I'm keep comparing things to Viseart. I feel like Viseart just kind of do whatever you want to, and these do too. You just have to use kind of different techniques for them is what I found. And I've just found that I can get more control with these shadows if I just use a little bit of a smaller brush. So I'm gonna take this brush and just dip it into, and this is, I don't really want to say my brush's name, so I guess I'm supposed to do a tutorial. This is just the Morphe M332. I also have found that this is nice because it's synthetic, so it doesn't pick up as much product as natural hair brushes. With harder pressed and less pigmented formulas. Okay, now you want to leave. Now that I let you in, you want to leave. So I'm going to go in with this to Unoriginal Nude 8, which is this camely brown down here that I love. I love the tone of this. Just get a little bit, and I'm just going to start focusing this on my outer V, and I'm more tapping than blending right now. And I'm also, Dodge, why are you going under me while I'm explaining how to blend eyeshadow? That's not helpful. I'm going along my lash line too, and now that I've like kind of laid that down and tapped it out a little, I'm gonna start blending everywhere. So into my crease, and like that. And I'm gonna go in with another layer, I would like more. So I'm also gonna like kind of blend it and blur it and buff it out into the crease more too. Just kind of get it almost everywhere, but not on my lid. Or not really on my lid. And these build up very, very quickly, which again is a little bit different than what I'm used to, but if you use more indie or more pigmented eyeshadows, you're probably used to that. Dodge, that's my sock! Okay, I'm gonna do the same on the other eye. Okay, now I'm going to go in with this little Real Techniques brush. It's their shading brush. I think you can maybe only get this in a set, but it's like the best eyeshadow brush. And I wish they would sell it in singles, because if they sold singles of this, I would buy like 5 of them. And I'm going to go into this kind of, it looks more reddy brown in the pan, but I feel like on my lid at least, it just looks more like a neutral brown. But it's Unoriginal Nude 9. And I'm going to just kind of diffuse that along my lash line and kind of take it up a little bit into like the outer crease, I guess you could say. And I'm only grabbing like a very small amount of this, flicking a lot of it off. And then I'm going to tap along my lash line. And start to diffuse that up. I was kind of disappointed at first because I wanted this shade to kind of translate more red on my lids, because this is, I mean, I know it's funny in like a palette of like all these exciting glitters that this tone was what I was excited for, but I'm always like really into these burnt sienna tones, but I can never find the perfect one. And this one is not really a burnt sienna. I think just compared to everything else, it looks more red, but really it's just kind of like maybe like a slightly warmer, neutral, deeper brown. But it is a nice shade and it performs well. It's just, I'm still looking for that perfect burnt sienna brown. I'm gonna go back with the original Morphe brush and go over all of that and just kind of tap over it. And then actually with the original brush that we laid the 2 lighter shades down with, I'm gonna go into, I'm actually gonna go back into them both and really lightly blend over this. And then I'm going to go in with just an angled eyeliner brush, something like this. This is from Moda. And I'm going to go into Unoriginal Nude 10, which is the cooler toned, darker brown. And I'm not doing a wing. I'm just going across, not all my lash line, just kind of like the outer half. And I'm just kind of smudging that, placing that right on my lash line. And I'm flicking it out like maybe a little, but not really. And that's it. It's very simple, but it adds a lot of depth. It helps just kind of juxtapose the blend, I find. And this is a really great darker cool tone brown shadow. And that's pretty much not totally all we're doing with the mattes, but mostly what we're all doing with the mattes. Okay, and the only shimmer I used in the look is actually Token Shimmer number 1 up here, and I did a very, very, very light application of it. I don't really like these shimmers like full volume, full opacity or anything like that. And a lot of these are more glittery toppers, but even like I've accidentally done too much with them and I'm like, that's too much, that's too much. But what I do is I very lightly tap into the pan, like I barely graze the pan, barely. And then I start by putting a little on my lid, and then I'm gonna take a finger that doesn't have shadow on it and disperse. And then I'm gonna add a little bit more, disperse. And I'm just kind of placing it along like the 2/3 inner lid. And that's it. That's basically it. And the shimmer is so pretty. It's like definitely like has like kind of like a pearly white element to it, but I also see like pink and yellow and kind of like a not quite confetti, but flirting with confetti, but like a sly confetti. Sly confetti, scattered glitter, pearlescent work topper is how I would describe Token Shimmer 1. And if that makes sense to you, it makes sense to you. And that's pretty much the look. Do I want to... No, I think that's pretty much it. We'll come back and add an inner corner highlight. I actually have been doing matte inner corner highlights, which I think I've mentioned before, but I'm still doing that. And so that's pretty simple. Oh no, I did like a little bit of drop shadow too. Now you want to leave. So I'm gonna do a little skincare. And we'll use this, why not? So e.l.f. brought the Jelly Pop primer back, and I've heard it's just Steph talk so highly of this. And I've been into a gripping primer lately, albeit one not as grippy as this. I've been really into another primer that you haven't seen me mention on my channel. The NYX Plump Right Back. I am actually like 2/3 done with this. I really, really like the stuff. This is not nearly as grippy as this though. I'm not sure how I feel about this yet because it is intensely grippy. It smells like a watermelon Jolly Rancher. It's like a lot. It's a lot, but we'll use it today. It's like pretty dewy too, and I feel like my skin kind of needs some dew. And yeah, just so, like even on my hands it feels sticky. And yeah, watermelon Jolly Rancher, it's kind of wild. Like, it's definitely very, very grippy, but it does give your skin a nice glow. And I have noticed, like I didn't wear a primer with my makeup to work today, and it actually made a difference. I think primer may matter. Ugh, gross. And then I don't want to do anything too intense for my base, so I think I'm just going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Falls filter. A little bit of my NYX Pro Fix stick in pink. Ilia complexion stick in 2C. I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eyes too so we can finish the eyeshadow. For top shadow, I'm just going to go back in with actually the Morphe brush. I'm not adding any product to this. I'm just running this along my lower lash line. I'm going to put some Westman Atelier brown pencil liner. I'm going to tie line with it. By the way, if you have sensitive eyes, this is a great pencil eyeliner. Sensitive eyes, and you want something that's like so easy to use. It's expensive for what it is, but it is... I love it and would happily repurchase it and probably will when I finish. I'm gonna go ahead and add some mascara. This is the Ilia Limitless Lash in Brown. By the way, I should have mentioned this, but for this look, you don't need any of the specific products I'm using. You don't need the Bella Beauté Bar palette. You don't need any of the complexion products, anything like that. Especially this look. I mean, if you have, even just like a bronzer, one dark brown eyeshadow or a dark brown eyeliner, and like a scattered glimmery topper shade, or even just like a really intense highlighter, you could do a version of this look. You don't need any of these specific products to get this look. I do really like this eyeshadow palette so far. I haven't like tested every shade. I haven't seen how it's fully integrated into my routine because it still has that kind of new factor, so I can't tell you any of that information right now. I will tell you it like wears really well. It does, for me it had a learning curve, but I am not well versed in, or not even well versed, although that's true too, but I don't use indie eyeshadow every day. I usually, a lot of times I don't wear eyeshadow, or if I do, it's like really easy, like one and done, like matte eyeshadow or something. Once I got that learning curve and learned how to use it, I really do like it. And I have been naturally reaching for it, but again, like I haven't had it for very long, so I can't give you like a full review or tell you how it's integrated into my makeup because I don't quite know yet. I do really like it so far. Not something you need to do this look at all is what I'm trying to get across. Okay, and then last thing we're going to do with the eyeshadow, I'm going to take Unoriginal Nude 1. This is so odd. This is one of my favorite shades in this palette. I have really loved doing a matte inner corner. I don't really do sparkly inner corners much anymore. I just like love how much a matte inner corner brightens just kind of my under eye area in general. How it translates in the look. I don't know. It just like makes it look so much more perfected to me. And this is a great, for me, matte inner corner highlight. It's like not a pure white, which I was using the pure white from Viseart from the Editorial Mattes palette. It's not a pure white, it's like a bright cream. But I think because it's so pigmented, I, again, only have to tap in once. And it does such a nice job brightening. And then also these eyeshadows kind of have a blur too. So I kind of bring it down too. And it's so slight, but to me it makes a huge difference. And it's one of those like slight things I've been doing in my makeup routine that when I do it, I see a big difference and it just makes me happy. So I've actually really been loving that shade. Again, if that's something you want to start experimenting with, you probably have this type of eyeshadow somewhere in your collection. You could also use like a brightening powder or something. Not a reason to buy a new eyeshadow palette, but it is it's a technique. If you've never tried a matte inner corner highlight, it's a technique that I've really been obsessed with. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of Gucci bronzer. I have been back, I mean, this product I've had for a long time. Look at that pan. Look at that pan. And like all the embossing's pretty much gone. I've been using this a lot lately and kind of just putting it everywhere. I've had this bronzer for, gosh, at least 2 or 3 years at this point. And I go in waves with it. Like sometimes I won't reach for it for a while, but I am back into it. I feel like I could finish it. I mean, I will say, it took me a long time to get here, so maybe I shouldn't be so cocky with the finish it thing. And this product has, I mean, it's so expensive for what it is. It's a powder bronzer, but the formula is beautiful, the tone is beautiful, and it has so much product, and it has 12 grams of product in this. And I've used this so much, and I still have like so much left, let's be honest, but I am seeing progress, which is always exciting with like a powder product. And this is something I bought full price, which is probably not the wisest decision, but I feel like I have at least gotten my value out of it. If I'm going to buy something this expensive, this is what I want it to look like, you know? I am on the record as a Merit hater, but I have recently come into a few of their flesh balms. Is that what they're called? Flesh balm? That maybe not be right. Is that what they're called? Flesh balms? That seems kind of wild. Oh, they're called flesh balms. I was like, flesh balm's kind of like a sexy name, Mara. Why did I think it was called flesh balm? Wasn't there a brand called Flesh Beauty? Was it like that Revlon prestige brand? Wait, I need to look this up. I was like, flesh balm? Yeah, it was owned by Revlon. Do you all remember this? It was kind of like in the heyday of beauty guruing. I remember people doing like sponsored posts for it. And there was like these sticks that said flesh. I love when I do this, when I show you a picture on my phone, when I have the power of Adobe Premiere. There were like sticks that said flesh. I think that's what I was like. The flesh balm is so sexy for Merit. Anyway, we have to move on from that. We have to move on. But I acquired a few shades from friends recently because it's a very popular blush and people were decluttering them at work and I said, I'll take them. And my friend Maddie passed this on to me. This is the shade Bespoke. And I'm still still learning this formula, but it's very interesting. It's very like watercolory, and look at that color. This is like a sexy neutrally pink. It's cute. It definitely is very pink, or not very pink, but it is more pink on the cheek than I feel like the swatch looks on my hand. Like I feel like that almost looks like a berry brown. And then when it's on the cheek, it looks more like a neutrally pink, but still very pretty. I still really like it. The formula is very, very easy to work with. Yeah, still like learning the formula, but I mean, just shade wise, I think this is really pretty. And you kind of get more of the berry brown when it's like a little bit more intensely applied. Pretty neutral though. Like a very neutral berry brown, but you know what I mean. Hopefully. I don't know you. And you can kind of just be messy while you apply it, which I like. It's very easy. You probably don't even need a brush, but I like using a brush. Okay. That's a good blush. All right, Merit. I like a Merit product, everyone. Calm down. But it's nice. I need to set my face. I've been really into powder lately. Trend alert. I'm into powder. I'm gonna set all over with the Charlotte Tilbury, or not all over. I still don't like set my cheek area usually, but I like to set kind of pretty much everywhere else, especially down like the lower part of my face. I don't know, I used to like be so afraid of powder, and now I find it's I'm really cracking a code here. It really does make like the makeup last longer. Breaking news. And not just last longer, I guess, but like wear better. Like I feel like if I don't powder, although even then that was kind of like a little dewy for me. I don't know. I feel like the dew craze is dying down a little. Okay, and now something I've been doing lately. I'm gonna go in with my Hourglass finishing powders from the Jellyfish palette. Why did I have to look at the animal? And I've been going in a little bit more heavy-handed with these finishing powders and using my powder puff. Because they are so light and perfecting, but this kind of gives it a little bit more of an, you know. And then with the brightening powder, I'm gonna tap that over my under eye area to brighten that. I bought a couple of the new shades of the Phytosurgence tinted lip balms because I really love that formula. And in my last video, I was wearing Brine, which is the red, which I love. This one is so pretty if you want like a sheer red lip option. Perfect. It's so pretty. But today I think I'm gonna do Silent Seas, which is sort of like the condensate of the line. If you're familiar with the Phytosurgence blush called Condensate, it's very sheer, kind of like barely lavender beige is how I would describe Silent Seas. I'll swatch it next to Condensate. So this is Condensate, and this is Silent Seas. Silent Seas. Oh wow, that nail does not look good. That one doesn't look great either. Silent Seas. Condensate. I would say Condensate is a little bit more cool toned, and maybe a little bit more lavendery too. A little more gray lavendery. This one's a little bit more beigey lavendery, we'll say. Why not? Who knows? Everything's fake. Do you know everything's fake? If you're ever stressed out in your work environment, I did this recently. If you're ever like getting overwhelmed with work, just say to yourself, this place isn't real. Because it's not. The workplace is not real. It's not real. It's not real. And you shouldn't let it feel bad about yourself when it doesn't support you or reward your hard work. Not that that's based off my personal experiences. No. Crispy diet ginger ale. Okay, I'm going to go in with e.l.f. Baddest Beige. And do a little Silent Seas on top. It's a very pretty combo. And honestly, like a lip you could wear with anything. I have talked about these before, but the Phytosurgence tinted lip balms are just perfect for me because I don't like anything too dewy or like juicy on the lips usually. Like I sometimes do, and I like a lip oil or something like that. But I feel like a lot of tinted lip balms are so slippy and just like disappear super quickly. And I do just prefer a more matte finish to the lip. I feel like that's not quite a modern take, but that's how I feel about it. And these are great because they hydrate your lips so well, but then they also offer like a really nice soft matte finish on the lips almost. And they stick around for like a really long time and they fade really nicely, especially with like a shade like bright brine. This like gives you really nice wear, but it's like a much easier red to wear than like a red lipstick. So these Phytosurgence lip balms are what I'm reaching for most days, and the shades are great because it's Phytosurgence. I also love Distant Depths. That's like the brownie one, which I don't think I have with me right now. It's in a bag somewhere and I don't think I can find it right now. But that one's really great too. And if you're wondering how it compares to the new shades, Phytosurgence has a ton of swatches and stuff on their website and on their Instagram. But that is the look. Get into it. I think my skin probably needed like an actual foundation right now because I've already spent a day wearing makeup and but whatever. This is what my skin looks like. It doesn't have a ton of coverage on it, but that glittery shade from Bella Beauté bar is so pretty. And I love how the mattes blend out. I don't know if I did as good of a job as I did on my first look, which I told you was going to be hard to replicate. But pretty cute. I also, that Merit blush shade, Bespoke, that's really freaking pretty. That's really freaking pretty. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, okay? You know what? I'm pretty. And I need to tell myself more. Because I haven't been... This is shameful. No, it's not even shameful. It's just honest. I have not had a lot of self-confidence lately. It's been slipping from me, which is sad. I need to gain it so I can do another hotness tutorial for Clovemas this year. The hotness has been eluding me, which is like breaking the number one rule of hotness, which is that hotness is imminent. It has to be now. And I'm trying to find that. Maybe I'll film a return to hotness tutorial or something like that soon, because I feel like I need it. Oh, and you know what? We're going to do one more thing before I go. We're going to do a first impression. My friend Maddie also passed along this gloss from Half Magic. It's the Half Magic Magic Drip gloss, and it's like a glittery lip gloss. It's like a brown. It's like a deeper brown. So you know what? Make a playtime. We'll try it. Not quite sure how I feel about that. I definitely like the lip more before I put that on, if I'm being honest. It's not the worst. It doesn't have as much glitter as I thought it would. Like, I feel like it's kind of just looking like a shiny brown lip gloss, and like here it looks like, although even in the swatch, like I don't know, I feel like pigment of the gloss, the darker pigment, is like kind of overshadowing because there's like gold and like magenta shimmer in it, but you have to look really hard at the gloss to see it because you can mostly just see the dark brown base. I mean, it's not bad. It feels kind of fine, sticky, like a lip gloss. All right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my Diet Ginger Ale takes. I know we have Diet Pepsi. Maybe there's a budding pop star who could write a song called Diet Ginger Ale. Maybe I'm that budding pop star. Maybe I need to be the budding pop star I wish to see in the world. And that's something to chew on. If you did enjoy this video, give it a like. Helps me a lot in the wild, wild west of the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you want to see future videos. And thank y'all so much for being here. We're gonna be okay. Bye, y'all.